Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, urging you. You guys have been doing well, getting us closer to that 10,000 subscriber list. We're just close to 9,000 now. So if you could, if you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button. It helps us continue to get interviews with players, get the highlights that we're showing, and all that good stuff. So please consider doing that. If you have already subscribed, hit that like button as it helps other Panther fans find out about us. So let's get into it. Bryce Young footwork right here is why I took this video close up, right? So people can see, because a lot of people ask me about that. So I'm going to take myself off here. Again, don't mind if you guys use my videos, but just like I said, if you do, please give me credit again so we can grow. The bigger we grow, the more that we can have access to players and coaches, right? Independent media, really supported by you guys. So here we go, Bryce Young out here. And this is something that I hadn't seen before with previous coaches. You see the defensive backs working on just catching loose balls, linebackers catching loose balls. You might see it a little bit on the left-hand part of the screen as well. Some linemen doing it. My guy Thomas Davis was in practice today. Also, Steve Smith was in practice today as well. Some legends watching the game, and then some more action of players doing basically loose ball drills today. It's OTAs, so you're not going to see a lot of unique things and be able to dive deep into what's going on, but you see players continue to get used to everything that's going on. See some people coming on. Tim Estes, Thomas Frisbee, Panther Prime Podcast, what's going on? And here you see Xavier Legette not practicing today.
Just a precaution.
So, give me a second here. So, I'm about to play this video, and Xavier Legette did not practice today. So, Coach Dave Canales was asked about it. I'm going to play his reply here in just a second. But also, as I see some people signing on, want to say, yes, if you have a podcast or anything that you want me to be on, would like to have my expertise, then please, I'm very easy to get in touch with. Leave a comment in YouTube, email me, and I'll do everything I can to support your endeavors as well. But here's Coach Dave Canales talking specifically about Xavier Legette not practicing today.
You know, I think he's been, what happens a lot with rookies is they come out here, it's a different level of work. And it's not that they haven't practiced this long, but everyone's fast. Everyone's going, you know, and of course they're with their wheels turning, there's a strain on the brain, there's also a strain on the body. And so for him, he just kind of looked a little bit stoved up yesterday, and we just, as a precaution, said we need to pull back a little bit and just make sure we're smart with this at this point, you know, in our program and what we're doing, you know, with our sights on training camp and all that.
Is that just sort of overall leg, or was there a soft tissue, or what?
Yeah, he looked tight, you know, and so yesterday he just had a moment in practice where he started to slow down. The trainers started talking to him immediately. He was like, all right, well, let's not throw him back out there. Let's not just try to rebound. Let's be smart about it at this point. So.
So I wasn't able to catch Bryce, who he was throwing to in that first play, but you'll see I'll come back here and I got you guys some footage of on the receiving end. I'm not a videographer by trade, but I do what I can to get you all some content. Here, let me rewind this just for a second. I think I rewinded it too much.
In our program.
Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get this to go back just a little bit. All right, so watch this closely. You see Bryce Young just sprinting after throwing the ball coming down the field right here.
In the drills or?
So let me touch on that for a quick second here. So there you saw Bryce Young sprinting down the field like in between drills. And that's something that I noticed that he did. In practice before, I've kind of seen him jog around, kind of being happy, almost like the Steph Curry kind of way, right? Just out there having a lot of fun. But today I would see Bryce, instead of just kind of like, okay, we're about to switch, we're about to move around, and then he jogs to the next part of the practice, he would actually go ahead and line up, like get on the line, we're about to run sprints, and then he would take off running hard. And so I had to ask Dave Canales about that after practice. I see a super chat has just come through, so let me go ahead and do this really quickly for the super chat.
Super chat.
There you go. Got to add this to the screen because I got to say it every time it happens. We're independent media. We have no sponsors. We don't have anyone writing us a check and say, hey, talk about this company or that company. 100% supported by you all, which allows me to do a lot of the unique reporting that you're seeing out and enjoy. So Panther Prime Podcast, appreciate you very much. And talking about collab, yes, I'm all for it. Anytime there's an opportunity to do so, I will. All right, so here's Dave Canales talking about that sprint that you saw Bryce Young doing right there during practice. I think I hit the wrong button again.
Just had a moment in practice where
Be at the start line, just race to the other side.
yeah, it's so athletes first. The quarterbacks, you got to remind them, you guys are athletes first, and so you're going to have to run for your life at times. We need to train that type of sprints, those short bursts somewhere, because a lot of times when the scramble play happens, and I really try to ask them not to just throw the ball away. I know that there's a time for that, when they're managing the game. But really what happens is, in a game, you're going full speed all of a sudden, and you've been just kind of operating from the pocket or carrying out fakes and things like that. So we have to be able to simulate that type of work. Look at how much mileage everybody else is getting. Well, they're the same. They're athletes first. So that's a big request of mine. And so they kind of take care of that in between routes on air by sprinting those 30 or 40 yards.
All right, yeah, so just a quick pause. I know I'm zoomed in a little bit because most of the time I'm just a little small on the window, but I'm going to continue to give you all my feedback and my impression from being around this team and what I see and what I think, and I'm also going to tell you how much weight to put with it. One thing that I continue to get impressed by each week is something that Dave Canales says that is like a detail. And I like hearing that detail because attention to details gets you that victory over the other team. It's a game of inches you hear people talk about. And he's impressed me in the past with comments on the relationships with players, being able to get more out of them. He's impressed me in the past talking about his observations at practice and, not putting too much into certain aspects, encouraging rookies to ask questions and, hey, take a play out. But his comment today on Bryce running sprints, I like that because, yeah, you could have a game where he is running for his life. Maybe everything isn't going how you want it to go. And then just having these guys prepare for all those scenarios, I really feel optimistic about the success that could be had during this season because I feel like a lot of the right things are in place. I feel like the cultures to win is being put in place. Still got to see what happens when they put on pads. Speaking of putting on pads, they will have a joint practice with the New York Jets, second year in a row that they're going to have that. So Aaron Rodgers will be in Carolina for a few extra days practicing against the team, giving them some more looks. So just wanted to pass it along. We're going to get into the rest of the highlights here. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, hit that subscribe button. Don't be stingy with it. It costs you nothing. It means the world to me if you could do that, and hit the like button if you have not done so already. So see here, I got used to where Bryce was throwing the ball, and I was able to get you some of those passes for your viewing pleasure. And even you notice here how quickly he's going from one pass to the next pass. And there he goes again with that sprint, right? Exactly what Dave talked about. Pass left, pass right, sprint. Dave Canales talks so much about timing and execution, and here's a chance for you guys to see it right here. Again, I can't show you everything from practice, but I'll show you what I can. All right, so that is the extent of your highlights for today. Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, asking you, if you had made it this far, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications. I love interacting with you guys. You have a friend in the media. Any questions that you have about anything whatsoever, I'm here to help you. Until next time that I see you, enjoy your afternoon.